up, guys? It's Jeremy, Commissioner again with the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast, and we're back doing this thing again. Hey, it's Happy Black History Month, and there's some awesome stories we can talk about with that, and we're going to talk about tonight regarding the history of bourbon and its ties with the African American Black culture, and the way it's over the last 200 years or 200 something years that it's helped cultivate positive expressions for all of us. So we want to celebrate that tonight. Now, I did not go out and get any Uncle Nearest. It is going to happen this month. I just didn't have time today. However, Freddie Johnson, if you don't know him at Buffalo Trace, and he's their VIP visitor person. He's at Buffalo Trace, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to drink Buffalo Trace stuff tonight, and so I'm having Eagle Row right now, and then I may move over to the Weller 12. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. Cheers. Rob, where's Old Shitty at? Don't see Old Shitty. There it is. Sorry, it's tucked away. It was tucked away behind your head.
Hey, Shitty.
Shitty is here, baby.
We probably should give a disclaimer of what that is. So there's this company called Shitty Coolers, and we're communicating back and forth, and hopefully at some point we can build a relationship. But we have one of our characters on the show that travels all the time, and when he travels, I don't do it, but he carries a cooler, and the cooler is always stacked. I don't even know if he carries underwear or socks, but he has booze in his cooler, which we've appropriately named Old Shitty. So, or Old Shitty. So anyway, Rob, tell us what you're drinking tonight, man.
So tonight, as everyone knows, we've been talking about, I am back in the great state of Ohio, and Ohio started getting in their Weller allotments or their Weller shipments for the year. So Monday when I pulled in, I stopped at the Giant Eagle, which is the local supermarket, and picked myself up my limit of 2 bottles of Antique from the AM crew. And, as I left work and went home, went back to the hotel, checked in, I was like, I think I'm going to stop in different Clark. So I was able to get at least 2 more bottles. I already got most of them promised, except for one, which I've cracked for our show tonight. Great. This Weller Antique 107 is just great stuff, man.
Yeah, the next time you get a little bit of a little extra, that let me know, and I'll send you the exchange, so maybe you can send one this way when you get the chance.
Mondays, it seems to be Mondays here is the
delivery date.
It is the antique delivery day.
Nice.
Wednesday, Thursday is the special reserve delivery day at the local places. They were all stocked on special reserve, which I got enough at home. I don't need to back up much more.
Cool. Billy.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you. I did a bottle kill on the Belvini. And after that, I actually got the wife into Woodford Reserve. And now she's fallen in love again with the Double Oak. You
told her that was my favorite, right? That's the reason why she's my hall pass.
When you said that the other day, she was cracking up. She lost her mind.
But she smiled, though, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
But she really, really enjoyed the Double Oak. She liked Woodford a lot. She actually got the family size from Costco. And then when we went to my local store, I picked up the Double Oak, and I think she cracked the seal before I did. So it was good.
That was my Monday night bottle kill here. I brought in Old Shitty has a bunch of bottles I'm just trying to kill. So
yeah,
Double Oak was my Monday night kill.
So far, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 bottles empty. That's got to go in the recycling Friday, so I'm doing well.
It's funny because we were talking behind the scenes on the VIP chat, and if you're not a part of it, you do want to be a part of it. But we were talking about that, and you guys were talking about bottle kills, and sometimes you'd send pictures and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there going, I can't even remember the last time I bottle killed anything. Like, I generally switch up each time. Now, it's possible. It's definitely, I don't know if it's pragmatic tonight, but it is likely that it could occur with the 12 year if I were to switch to that next right away, that I could get maybe, I don't know. I think it might be outside of my 3 drink maximum, but either way, I rarely ever find myself killing off a bottle. So, hey, Jay's joining. So, Mal, tell us about what you're drinking over there in England.
I'm getting into the spirit of things, as formerly mentioned by your good self, and I am on Uncle Nearest.
Nice.
So this is the 1856 100 proof Tennessee whiskey. Absolutely love this stuff. As it says on the bottle, smoothest whiskey in Tennessee.
That's Leaper's Fork. Oh, I'm Bond.
Well, it says it on the label, dude. It must be true. And I haven't tried Leaper's Fork yet. Hoping to make a connection. Absolutely love this stuff. Love the story behind it.
Yeah.
As you know, and no judgments here, because all, as you say, all taste is subjective.
Yep.
I am a Jack Daniels fan. But I do absolutely love the story behind Uncle Nearest, Nathaniel Green. And I do absolutely love this whiskey. As far as Tennessee whiskies go, it's my favorite. Very smooth, very tasty.
Well,
very good.
I did find it's on the blackbourbonsociety.com webpage. I have it pulled up over here. And they actually talk about the Nearest Green, Nathaniel Green story. I had heard for the longest time that he was he is who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey, and that's been confirmed. He was a rented slave that was put there for the for the mere purpose to teach Jack Daniels how to do that in the late 1800s. Yeah, very fascinating story about him.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, when he left there, he became a writer, historian, inventor, CEO, and started, Uncle Nearest. And, I mean, obviously, it probably didn't have the lineage until after his passing, but that's pretty freaking amazing story. And
it's awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like we said on the we're talking about on the VIP chat. It's his great granddaughter who is currently the master blender.
Yeah, that just came out within the last 2 days or so, that she was the 2021 Master Blender of the Year. That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And I'll be honest with you, I've never tried Uncle Nearest. I am going to go out. My purpose was to go out and get it today. I just didn't have time to stop and go get it. I was very, very busy. Anyway, let's moving on. John, what you got going on, man?
What's up, guys? Because we started talking about Uncle Nearest, I had a few minutes to kill, so I actually ran over to the liquor store, picked up the 1884, and then I picked up the 1856. So I'm gonna try both of these tonight. I'm currently sipping the 1884. I think this is the one that you guys said was a little bit younger, bourbon. I can kind of get that a little bit on the front end, as well as the finish, but it's
what's the proof on the 84, John?
Oh, just getting ready to ask that, what the proof was.
Yeah.
So the proof on the 1884 is 93, and then
it's 100 on the 56.
Yeah, 100 on the 56. So
do we know what the age is on the 56?
It's not age stated.
Oh, it's
I
not.
don't think it is. Yeah. Oh, hi, Jeff.
Did you talk about the 1820?
We did not. We talked about it in the VIP chat, though.
I know it's out, and I want a bottle really bad, but I haven't found it yet.
Now, that one's age stated, so that one's 11 years.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, hey, Jay, welcome to the show, man.
Welcome. Good to see you, brother.
I had to manually type in the link.
What happened with that?
So you're telling me my link that I said you didn't work?
Well, I could see it on my phone, but I couldn't get it in my web browser. Something was trying to load, so
okay.
I had to look at my phone and type it in manually.
Jay, from one tech geek to another, you would have loved that secretly.
So what are you drinking on tonight, Jay?
So, everybody's flashing their Uncle Nearest. I had that. So, but what I'm sipping is actually Jack Daniels.
I
There
thought
you
about
go.
that, to be honest with you, but not that one. I thought about having some Sinatra tonight.
This is my favorite liquor store owner right here, Mr. Patel.
Nice.
Is his pick.
I know. I was there when you
Yeah.
and you got that because you kept trying to persuade me into potentially
Are you still
purchasing.
working on? You still working on them, Joe? Yeah.
Never gonna stop.
Absolutely, brother. Honestly, the barrel proof. Get him to try the barrel proof, please.
I'm trying.
Your turn.
Trying.
Yeah.
So I've got that. He wouldn't touch it. He was in the store. They offered to let him sample it. No.
That's not
I've got-
true. They did not offer to let me sample
Yes,
it.
he did. And I've got
I
another
would have still
one
said
coming.
no, but I mean,
I got 2 more bottles from another guy in Fairview coming. I get those Saturday. I'm gonna really try to get him to try those.
This is the one in Fairview, Jay.
speaking of
Oh,
which,
is that you? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. I helped pick
There it
that.
is.
well, now if you help pick it, I will try it.
You heard him. All of you guys.
It's recorded. It's
on
recorded.
video. It is
I'm
on
gonna
video.
record that.
I can edit it out.
This is
Um,
sitting at 132 proof.
Wow,
Ooh, yeah.
that is hot.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah.
Jay helped pick it out, so makes sense. So,
Hey Jay, don't feel bad. Mark is apparently having trouble getting the site to load from the link on his computer too.
Yeah, I had to end up manually type it in, but I'm here. I made it.
We're glad you did.
yeah, we are.
There he
And Mark is coming in right now.
Hey.
There he is.
And he
I
looks
think
angry.
you're-
brothers.
What's up, man? He doesn't look angry.
I can't get the damn thing to load.
Yeah, no,
Sounds
I'm on the
angry.
phone for now.
He does
did you
sound
buy,
angry.
did you buy the drink?
I retract my previous comment.
Oh, see. You had to tell me offline what he said.
So, Mark, welcome to the show, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, fellas. Sorry I'm late. I am good. Trying to get logged on still, but I'm here.
How are you trying to get logged on when we can see you and hear you?
Well, I'm on my phone. I prefer to be on my laptop.
Oh, okay. Well, let's all listen to Dead Silence and listen to him type it in slowly.
I'm here.
Mark,
I got
you're
some
last in. What are you drinking, bro?
You know, I got open ears.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
So the
I prefer
1820 is what I need to try.
Yes.
You like
yes.
the higher
I prefer
proof, yeah.
1856 though. But yeah.
The
Well, you
56
know
is
I like-
good.
You know I like
56 is
that.
good.
56 is awesome. I need to try the 20, but the 56 is very good.
It's got a very, very unique flavor profile.
Cool.
Yeah, they're delicious.
And you said it's 100 proof, right?
Yes.
The 56
Yes,
is
it is.
good.
Okay.
Yes.
So that sounds good. I'm down with that. I'll give it a try. I mean, why not? I mean, the only reason why I hadn't ever tried it before was because of the stigma tie with Jack Daniels. And I'm like, well, he taught him how to do that. Well, I guess I won't like him.
Yeah, but you know yourself, you never ever tell your students all of your secrets.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
That's true.
yes.
I mean, you make it's a very valid point. You definitely don't. But at the same time, you also admire and you want your students to aspire to be better than you and be able to achieve all their goals. So
Absolutely.
though I hear you, I still think that he probably pushed him to do the best he can, which obviously he became the #1 seller of whiskey in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't be doing much
Jack
wrong.
Daniels surpassed Johnny Walker Red last year or the year before as the #1 whiskey in the world.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, I drank it in Saudi Arabia.
It's funny. I work with a great deal of folks that from all over the world, but probably the majority of them are from India,
Mm.
and they worship Jack Daniels. They love it. All of them. They're always, people will come over here for a turnship or something, and they'll be like, "I'm taking Jack Daniels back with me."
Yeah, but you were getting ready to say it in your Indian voice, and you held back.
No, I wasn't.
I bet you were, because you stopped right before you started it. Did anybody else pick up on that, or was it just me?
Caught that pause. I caught that pause.
Yeah,
Just you, bro.
That
Jody,
awkward pause.
it was just you.
Yeah. Air quotes on it. I'm the only person. Straight up professionalism right there.
Well done, though, Jay. Well done.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You navigated that real well.
And let's be honest, we've all done the Indian voice, so it's okay.
I can't do anybody but the guy from The Simpsons. That's the only one. That's because he doesn't really sound Indian to me.
That's the worst one.
That's what I'm saying. Now my son.
Apu, who said it? Who said it?
Yeah, Apu. Yeah.
Who Nahasapina Petalan.
Wow.
My son though
Voiced by Frank Azaria.
can do all the voices. Like he can speak like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He can do an Irish and a Scotsman's accent. I mean, if we knew what Ma was saying,
those are two very distinct.
Yes, but he takes acting classes, so he's learned how to do it.
Okay.
And then he also does an Indian guy, and it's like, oh my God, I don't know if any of this is right, buddy. I don't think you're supposed to be doing that. He's like, well, I'm practicing my lines. I'm like, you're not in a movie. You're not in a commercial.
Well, here's the thing. Let's not even getting political or anything like this, but I think there's nothing wrong with picking on somebody's race or whatever, as long as the intent is genuine, where it's meant to be funny, or you're just kind of giving somebody some hell.
Yeah.
It's not malicious.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You just want to pick on white folks, don't you?
No, listen.
Ouch.
I pick on
There we
everybody,
go.
and I hate anybody who doesn't buy my sauce. So there you go.
No, on a real note, though, I do think that there is some truth to that, and it's probably we could flip this around to where it could be a bourbon discussion without it becoming political, and that is think about it. When you're in this community right here, we've definitely in the after hours or even before or even during the show, I think all of us have each other's back and we say everything we want to say without anyone leaving here offended. I mean, at least I haven't. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And I think that that's a unique, I guess, stigma that would go with the bourbon community, because I really haven't come across anyone in the bourbon world that wasn't already a narcissist, because those people you have to exclude. But, other than those people, we can get into having a conversation, and let's just say they start making fun of each other. We'll give each other nicknames and whatever it might be. And no one ever seems to leave their butt hurt, and honestly, I kind of wish our world would take a little bit of a cue from that and say, hey, if they can do it, Now, I don't want to make this clear, though. I don't want us to start raffling off some words that would be completely inappropriate and wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that for whatever reason, it seems like the skin in the bourbon community is a little bit thicker than some of our external partners.
And I think it has to be also like when you go into a cigar shop and you're sitting down, the cigar is the great equalizer. So nobody really cares about your race. Nobody cares about your political standings. Nobody cares about your car, your money, your house, your job.
Except for David. We all don't like him.
Because, if you're basically, you can have a basic 9-to-5 job and you can afford a $6 stick. And you can sit down and smoke and everybody will respect you as such. So
Yep.
I think in the bourbon world, for the most part, where the bourbon can definitely run up the digits, there you go, Mark, it's one of those things where most people can go into a local liquor store and pick up a Jack Daniels or pick up a Buffalo Trace, which doesn't always kill the wallet. And if you wanted to get into it, it's not something that would require you to have just this infinite amount of money. It's not like you want to get into auto racing or equestrian where, that was going to require quite the bit of
Victor watches.
Hockey. You want to talk about an expensive sport?
Yes, hockey. Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
I saw your guys' pictures of your watches.
3 sons.
Your watches last night. I need to send the pictures of my watches.
Yeah,
I've got
those
some-
do get pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a watch collection as well. Unfortunately, it seems we're all cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
But
You know
but
what
you're
I
right.
was-
I mean, you
Go ahead,
you don't. Sorry, I was just going to say that you don't buy like a ridiculously expensive bottle. Well, I'm saying you don't. We don't, as a collective. We've had this conversation before about collecting and appreciating. And you buy a good bottle of bourbon and leave it uncorked and let it settle and dust on it and what have you. It's kind of, you buy the bottle, you open it, you invite your friends around, and it's something that excuse me, a lot of my friends, not necessarily in the bourbon community, but just friends in general, we don't use alcohol as a currency. You go out for a night out, one person said, I'm not going to come out because I can't really afford it. Come out, it's fine. Everybody will chip in. We'll get your beers, we'll get your whiskeys, we'll get you whatever.
We'll take you to the Dirty Rabbit.
It's not a currency, is what I'm saying. It's because of that night. You don't owe me or us anything.
Right.
So whether it's a bottle of Buffalo Trace for whatever you guys pay for it, I mean, I know it's about £20 over here, which is cheap, or whether it's a bottle of Smoke Wagon, Pappy, whatever. It's been
Wow, you just
made.
really escalated that. Smoke Wagon, Pappy.
Yeah, I'm going.
What kind
I'm
of
going
friends
from
you
one-
hanging out with? Because I can tell you
I'm
there is a
going
difference between
from
my
one
friends that
extreme.
they can have
Hanging out
Smoke
with you.
Wagon and Pappy.
I'm Smoke Wagon over here is expensive, but it's like not Pappy expensive, obviously, but it's kind of it's not to be used as a currency. It's you've got a bottle of decent whiskey. You're not going to coddle it. You're not going to. I mean, we don't buy to sell. We buy to appreciate. We buy to share with our friends. Sitting in the garden. Get your friends around here. Try this. It's lovely, and then they will reciprocate when they can. They will
It's
when they
funny
can.
that you bring up that, because I actually learned that behavior from Jay. Met Jay the first time, and in person, he gave me 2 bottles of having a brain fart here, but
Heaven Hill.
Thank you. White Label. So that's what I was thinking of, was White Label. But anyway, some Heaven Hill, and then also 2 bottles samplers, Barstown. And he just gave them to me, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But he specified why he gave me 2. I don't want you to just not drink this and enjoy it. And I was like, I never looked at it that way, because I had been purchasing prior to that bottles just to have a collection, have this ginormous collection, and slowly pop a few of them and go through it. And I like what you were talking about, your sentiment with that. And that is that for me, I do want to be able to have friends over when COVID restrictions have been lifted, and we can all hang out. Yeah. Don't have to wear a mask or drink from a straw. But through our gas mask, the little plug on the side, you know what I'm talking about, Mark. And we've all had to use that gear. But anyway, so you could have have that camaraderie again. But one of the things that's really cool about it is being able to say, well, if you have somebody that comes over and they've never tried, I don't know, Stag or whatever. Now, obviously, I'm not going to let them sit back and hammer it down. But if they want to have, a taste of it, pour a glass of it, let's do it and knock it out. Or straight from the barrel, Blanton's, which I just acquired another bottle. And when you get those are top of the line for some people, and they may never ever have the chance to have them, like Eagle Rare 17 for me. Can't seem to find that at all. So it kind of is what it is. But I like that philosophy that you try to be more inviting, inclusive with your collection rather than exclusive to the people that are around you.
Yeah.
Nice. And I like the fact that even now Uncle Nearest is being recognized for who he is, and I'm sure if we was to dig deep enough, there will probably be more African American or Black people involved in the bourbon world and the industry. So I guess it would be nice to see a little bit more credit given that kind of thing. Because, listen, I'm sure everybody made hooch or moonshine back in the day, and it all kind of spawned from that, So it's just nice to see that he is being recognized. His family's still in the business, and that's something that I can definitely appreciate.
It may be because his name is tied in with a globally famous brand and all that kind of thing. But it's good that it's come out. It will come out. It's good that it's been recognised, as you say. But there may be some smaller ones that don't necessarily have that exposure, or that they have the history but don't have the current exposure.
Well, you have to think about it too. Hold on a second, Rob. One of the things you have to think about, though, it's not just the contributions that are made in the aspect of distilling. We've talked about it numerous times on the show, the type of music we listen to. And jazz is one of the big ones that come out, and the blues is the other.
Jazz and blues,
both of those were predominantly started by the Black culture here in the United States. Even if you listen to rock and roll, came from the blues, and so on and so on. And when you look at all these contributions, you have to look at them in a I guess a bigger perspective rather than the smaller perspective of, there's one distiller here, when we've actually found out today there's quite a few Black distilleries in the United States that are trying to connect with the heritage. Yeah, that was one of the ones I looked at today.
Yep.
Go ahead, Rob. You were going to say something earlier and I cut you off.
So there is Fred Minnick does a series of, it's called Bourbon Up, that is on, I'm watching it on Amazon Prime. And one of his interviews in season 2 was with, and I forget the actor's name, African-American actor, who's one of the big investors in Uncle Nearest. And also, everybody would know him if you saw him.
It's not Denzel, is it?
No, it's not Denzel, but he's had some pretty big roles. He's also been a character actor for years. And you'd know his face when you saw him. Right now, the name is just slipping from me, but it's a really great interview. Fred does a really nice interview with this guy talking about the history of African-American bourbon and the bourbon making process, and his involvement with Uncle Nearest and Fawn, who's the blender distiller.
Well, Uncle Nearest is really cool. The fact that it is, they only just last year recognized him.
Yeah.
They only just last year put his name up on Jack Daniel's website as the first master distiller. Mm-hmm. So it's a long time coming. And the fact that his family is managing this Uncle Nearest brand, and they're, making this delicious whiskey is really cool. But beyond all of that, they are really putting money and investing time back into their own communities, because they have this college scholarship program that is pretty fantastic. It started handing out scholarships this year, and it's a lot of effort on their part to keep it alive. I think that is extremely commendable.
Now, Jay, let me ask you this.
There he is. Yeah.
Okay. What would you say prompted all this coming to life with Uncle Nearest? What do you think prompted that?
Can I answer part of that real quick? Because I just found this out right now. It's the most award-winning American whiskey, to include bourbons, for 2019 and 2020, earning the world's best whiskey. This is from their website. So I would say that their own notoriety also added to that. You had, where did this come from? They probably had this in their history for the entirety of it.
Yeah.
So I would say that's part of that.
Yeah. So, Quay, have you guys ever done the Jack Tour?
I have. Yeah.
Okay. So if you do the Jack Tour, they actually reference him as well.
As well, they should.
Yeah.
Damn Skippy. Well,
I don't know how that's been the case, but yeah.
From reading them through the website and things that I've found is, he really is the forebearer of the Lincoln process, the whole charcoal get the charcoal and still and filtering through the charcoal. So that's all from him.
Yeah.
So any of the distilleries that are out there using that process, I think Belle Meade does their sour mash that way.
Sorry.
You know, that all leads back to him, which is pretty freaking awesome.
Well, to Billy's question, you know, what's bringing it all back to the surface, I think, is just the fact that society as a whole, not just bourbon society, but society as a whole has become much more open to the idea that, hey, you know, everything that we've, you know, had up until now was not all done by, you know, Caucasian people. You know, it's really the fact that society is coming around to the idea that we can have nice things and they can come from all kinds of different people. You know, I think that's why it's becoming more prevalent now, because we're open to it where we weren't before.
I can definitely see that. And like we were talking before we started the show, just in general, how, you know, things that are coming out more. And I guess it's just a thing of, you know, is it enough? Is it enough for it to just be notarized or put out that is the case? Or should there be something furthermore done to kind of really give credit due to where it is?
Celebrate it.
I think that's an excellent point. And the reason I say that is because, you know, and it's going to be difficult because, as you well know, you know, the history around a lot of things that sprang from, you know, African American people, you know, Black culture, a lot of that has been suppressed. You know, a lot of that isn't around you know, they didn't write about it, they didn't put it down in paper, they didn't keep records of it, so a lot of that is going to be lost. So I think it's up to us to definitely dig. We've got to dig it up, we've got to find it, we've got to bring it out in the light, and we've got to make all those things come forward. We've got to make it important.
I think you hit on a very interesting. Go ahead.
When I was finishing up culinary school, and of course, one of the last class we had was food history, and you know, to contribute the things that Black people contribute to the food and food industry, things that we use every day that's really taken for granted. Ice cream scoop, you know, the rolling pin, you know, simple things like that. And, you know, we can kind of go on and on about the things that African Americans have contributed to the world in a whole. But, you know, I think you're right, Jay. It does need to be dug up and brought to the forefront to see just really what's there, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because at this point, I think as long as the credit is properly given, I can accept that, you know? So
well, and that brings up a good point on this show, and that is that I think we do a good job at identifying that this is a motley crew of individuals that we put together here, and we've become.
Talking about you, John.
No, I was talking about you, Jay. But but anyway, mostly Mao. But anyway, we got together, we decided to do this, and we get together and we share stories and we chat and we talk about the history of stuff. And you know, I'm sitting here looking over the Uncle Nearest webpage, and it's got a fascinating history, very fascinating. And the historian that documented this is very, very well skilled in his or her writing abilities. It's written very well. But I think as we move forward, I definitely in the bourbon world, I don't, maybe I'm naive to it, but I don't see people caring too much that it's, you know, it came from here or this person done it or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some master distillers that you go, I like the way he or she presents their finished product more so than another person.
Yeah.
But or just the product itself. But I don't think people look at it and go, well, this is mostly created by Caucasian or this is created mostly by Black or whatever it might be. I think it's more about one of those things where if you embrace the culture of bourbon, which includes, you know, everything from country music to jazz, to rock and roll, to blues, to R&B, to everything that's out there. And then you look at, and you expand on that, and then you start looking at expanding your knowledge on it. You start looking at the distillers, and then you go, wow, this is where this came from, because you want to learn the lineage to it or the history of it. And you find that this is really kind of fascinating. It's palatable, and you start to enjoy it. I have not seen people that I've been in contact with having, tastings or at someone's house having a drink or whatever, and people going, yeah, I just don't like that because that's whatever. I think everybody looks at and accepts the culture and the community as a whole, more so than probably many other of our societal aspects,
But it always hasn't been all that, that way, because, I think everybody's starting to be more open to to newer whiskeys and bourbons. That's why you see a bunch of craft distilleries popping up in Colorado and other states. People who drank bourbon historically, it was, if it's not made in Kentucky, it's not true bourbon.
Well, I think that there's another part to that though too, is that's more of the production and the processes that are in the distilling. And I think that's what more people were talking about, because for the longest time, you're right, it's not bourbon unless it came from Kentucky, but it's because of the limestone and their distilling practices. It wasn't because of the pure water they have in Colorado, where they, I guess, create clear ice and stuff, as John would put it, or Jack.
Where is he?
I don't know. He's probably off starting some hate and discontent on somebody's Facebook page right now.
Bringing it back to topic though, if like you said, you mentioned that people don't get together and they really don't talk about, well, this particular brand is, Black owned or Black made, or this particular brand is, Caucasian owned or Caucasian made. They don't talk about it, but they should. I think it's really important to look at the scope and the depth of the bourbon community and see how crazy lopsided it is, right?
Yeah.
We have 900 brands, 800 mass produced, and 100 craft distillers, and there's how many others besides Bro Brothers and Uncle Nearest do you know that are African American Black owned?
Yeah.
So I know a whole lot of them now because I looked them up on Google this earlier today.
Mark, I was going to ask you about, you're a Georgia guy. There's a distillery called Greenwood Distillery out of Georgia. Is that them?
No, what is the name? No, this is Lazy Guy Distillery, but this is Black owned as well. They're out of Georgia as well.
Okay.
Nice label.
Yeah. So the piggyback off of what Jay was saying, here's the trick to this discussion is that, and I'm sure we've all know, I don't know, I'm assuming everyone has seen this when someone comes into one of the big, let's say the big three bourbon groups, the big three national, because there's several locals. But if someone comes in and says, well, this is a Black owned bourbon, then you're going to get 200 responses of why does color matter? But the thing is, I think one of the things that we have to be really careful about in the US is when that comes up, the reason that it comes up is because there's been, as Jay said, it's been so lopsided. It hasn't always been the case. This has been recognized. So that like I said, that's always a tricky slope to bring it up, because again, you get, well, color doesn't matter. I don't care. I just want to drink bourbon. That's great. And everyone appreciates that, but that's not always been the case. Again, we can get into a whole historical thing. I got a whole family of moonshiners out of North Carolina, and when they were caught, they weren't treated equally. Some of their formulas, who knows where those formulas are today. Anyway, that's just kind of a weird extension of the discussion that we're having here.
Yeah, and before the show started, we had talked about the African American influence over like rums and some tequilas, especially coming from Jamaica, coming from Trinidad, Appleton's rum, it doesn't get any better than that. And if anybody's had the white Jamaican rum, I mean, listen, that stuff will cure probably the coronavirus. You have enough of it.
Yeah, that's the trick. I think you're right, buddy.
Stag Junior cured mine. My test was still negative after about this much Stag Junior.
I like how you went like how you went like this much of Stag Junior. Some of us are watching the show.
Sheer perspective.
Yeah,
that's what she
but
said.
Yeah, you would definitely see a more heavier African influence products coming out of the islands. Stuff like that, especially when it comes to the rums.
Definitely.
Jesus, I would. You might be even hard pressed to say who has more. And rum, if I remember correctly, rum is quite a bit older. It's
sure.
pretty old. So
yeah.
Is there an actual bourbon, not a whiskey, but a bourbon that predates Jack Daniels?
Not that I'm aware of, but
marketing companies would definitely have a heyday with that question.
Yeah.
Elijah Craig would have a fit if they heard you saying, "What? Who's Jack Daniels?" No, it's only Elijah Craig.
There are so many stories though, Jay, isn't there? It's like, the Reverend versus the Colonel versus the
bingo.
Yeah. There's a lot of mythology, and I think that's part of the beauty of it, to be honest with you. It's part of the appeal.
Michael Veitch, if you're familiar with him, the Veitch. He's
I know the name.
He's like the grandfather of bourbon history. He has tons of YouTube videos and articles on his website, and of this exact question, these discussions that we're having right now. He's like the premier bourbon historian on the planet. Or whiskey historian on the planet. He would love to hear our discussion on this.
Now, is he just whiskey or whiskey?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
With an E or without the E?
Yeah, with the E or without the E. Thank you.
First one, then the other.
I was gonna say, yeah.
My brother, I know my brother.
I mean, he's all of it. He does all of it. Yeah, he is.
Maker's Mark doesn't have the E.
This is correct.
Do you know why the E versus not the E? Do you know the
enlighten us?
It was the Irish influence, wasn't it?
Well, so if it has an E in it, it's not. It's in the States. Right. If it has no E, generally it's meaning something that came from either Ireland or Scotland, a whiskey that came from Ireland or Scotland.
Irish whiskey has the
or
E.
Canada.
Irish whiskey has the E.
It depends on which one. That's the other thing. You mentioned Maker's Mark. Branding has everything to do with it, right? So
the
traditionally,
Maker's Mark is wrong. Did you know that?
Well,
of course you know that. You know that the mark, the actual mark, the V1 or 1V or whatever it is, was not the correct batch.
Oh, I did not know that. No.
Right. Okay. So the logo for Maker's Mark is something like 1V or a V1, so a 5 or a 6, which is supposed to indicate the batch that they selected that was going to be their mainstay whiskey. Well, it wasn't that particular batch, but they liked the way that the logo looks, apparently, allegedly. You can look it up. I'm not.
No, I believe
the story.
That's what happened with us with the mule. I just like the way it looks.
I'm not 100% au fait with the story, but I've done some reading up, and I was on a British Bourbon Society web chat. It wasn't a tasting; it was just a kind of web chat with one of the distillers of Maker's Mark, and they were talking about it. So if you Google, well, I don't know if you Google it, it'll come up with it. But if you do any research into the logo, the V1, the 1V, I can't remember what it is. I'm not in the bar; I can't see the bottle. It's supposed to indicate the batch that they came up with, that they selected to be their primary whiskey, and it wasn't. But they'd already designed the logo and they'd agreed on it, and they were happy with it, so they went with it.
That's a cool story. That is a cool story. Did not know that.
Hey
Yeah, I heard
Rob,
there's
what
a-
else you got in the old shitty back there? You haven't told us what you have in old shitty tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I've already killed, like I said, I've already killed off the double oak I had. I killed off a Four Roses small batch select last night. I had a friend pick me up a bottle of Blade and Bow in Indiana. I got that no shitty tonight.
Mhm.
And I forget what the other bottle is I got back there. There's one other bottle that is like that close, so it'll probably be a kill tomorrow night.
It's been a rough week, hasn't it?
Rob's a serial killer.
Yeah, he is. Hey, Rob, I'm trying to decide if I'm
whiskey
gonna take a
massacre.
bottle with me. I'll be in San Fran for 2 weeks, so I may take a bottle.
A bottle is different than carrying an entire freaking.
Yeah,
cooler.
yeah, I'm not doing the cooler.
I mean, do you
Yeah,
check
I-
that at the
Shout out to
airport?
Shitty, though. Shout out to Shitty.
I feel like Old
I'm
Shitty is
fairly
like a-
close to where all the places I'm going, so I can throw the cooler in the trunk of the car with the rest of my clothes. Yes, Jody, I do bring clothes when I travel.
We've never seen that other than
That's-
O'Shea. But back to my point, real
That's
quick.
so wrong.
So
That's so
does,
We need photographic evidence.
real quick, does your wife also refer to O'Shitty as O'Shitty?
No, she doesn't. She's probably never even watched the show to understand what O'Shea means.
Do you refer to it around the house as O'Shitty?
No, I do not. She said to me on Sunday, I threw a 6-pack of Coke Zero in there to bring with me. She goes, so here, I want you to, there's the other things she's trying to get rid of in the house. Throw these in the cooler. I'm like, I don't understand. No, it's not the cooler. It's O'Shitty. It's O'Shitty, but she wouldn't have got it or appreciated it.
I don't really know what to say to that. I think you ought to have a coming out, party with her and let her know.
Party for O'Shitty.
Yeah, let her know that the cooler has been appropriately tagged for the eternity of life as Old Shitty. I mean, we need to start putting Old Shitty in our videos. And as a matter of fact,
Hey,
now that I
you
thought
need
about it, it
education.
will be in our video.
I seriously think it should be.
So,
I feel
Bob,
like-
if you
I
do me a
feel-
favor later tonight, take a picture of Old Shitty and just send it to me.
I feel like
It needs to be
it really.
the Whiskey and Rebellion, starring, and featuring.
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't say starring for anybody. I put starring is Old Shitty, and then the rest of us are all like special guests.
Featuring.
You should make the intro like the picture he sends you of Oshie, but like make us all little stickers all over it, all of us.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not properly trained to do that. My son could do it, but I couldn't. So I may have to reach out for some assistance. So
And so my question to Rob is, how do you get so many bottles in
that's
there?
I mean, it doesn't look that big. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's like, I
Double
feel
Oak
like
is a
it's
smaller bottle.
like
though.
a magic trick or something.
I can fit 8 bottles of bourbon in there if I have to.
No,
That
you
ro-
can't.
Yes, I
Dude.
can.
Well, what kind of trip are you going on when
Billy.
you take 8
So-
bottles of bourbon?
No. Hold on. I usually
Billy.
leave 3 to 4 with me, and then if I'm out having to stop somewhere, pick something up, I can put some more things into it. That's
Are
how
you-
I'm.
are you-
All I'm saying
there
is
to
all I'm
bring
saying,
stuff up.
Billy, that room is 60 foot deep. It's just perspective gone wrong.
And you know what it is? He's
Well, it
using
is.
Knob Creek. It's the Double Oak bottle, which is smaller, and the Knob Creek bottles, and they're smaller.
Okay, we're not talking about the little sample bottles either,
No,
right?
no.
We're just to clarify, we're talking about full size bottles.
No, he doesn't. He's not a chef. He works for UPS. He knows how to pack.
I mean, come on,
That's it.
it's a full bottle of Double Oak that I killed. I mean, really?
Wow.
Rob, just fess up, dude. That's Doctor Who's shitty cooler.
Rob,
That's it. It's bigger
Rob, you're
inside.
not helping your case.
It's the shortest. It's the shortest, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Shout out. I love Doctor Who, by the way.
It's the shortest.
I'm glad
That's what
you
it is.
stopped us for a shout out to Doctor Who. Just want to make sure we point that out.
Wow.
I have the TARDIS tattooed on my back.
I believe this. I really
Nice.
Oh
And,
man.
Rob-
do. I dressed
Rob-
my
Rob's
dogs
got-
up as
Rob's got-
thing
Rob's got
1
the
and thing
shortest.
2 once. Oh Lord, we lost perspective.
But that's okay. But listen,
Didn't we?
I do gotta say one thing. Listen, you guys, I don't know if you guys follow Jody on Instagram, but I can tell you this:
Unfortunately,
Jody loves himself. I've never seen a man
yes.
with so many pictures of himself.
Those beautiful calves, right? Those
Well,
lovely calves.
Time
Oh
out here.
man.
Time out here.
Listen,
What's the
I'm
name of my
guilty.
page?
I was guilty. I said, let me just look at this thing, and I'm flipping. It's,
Hey, look
the
at Mark.
boys pop up every now and then, you know, but
Those
it's all
calves. I just want to grab hold of them.
All right. Here's the thing.
I think we
Here's
need
the
more
thing.
definition,
I
to be
have
honest.
several Instagram pages. I have one for my dog. I have one for my fitness stuff, which is what you follow, and then I have one for
MiFi.
MiFi, and I have one for the Whiskey Rebellion, and then I have one called Nacho Bros. And because me and my buddy we like to eat nachos everywhere we go, and so that's the reason why it started. So I love nachos. I have a fetish with nachos. But anyway, so. And I don't post on that one much because me and him don't get to hang out, for like the last year. So we really hadn't got to post anything, but no, it's a fitness page. So what do you expect me to put on there? Like, you want me to take a picture of just a rock?
I mean, no, listen, I'm not
Please don't.
hating. I appreciate.
Sounds
the
like you're
page.
hating.
I mean, listen, if I had, I'm
You do
upset that I don't
put
have-
pictures of rocks on there, but you're usually picking them up.
Yeah, that's true. I was doing that today.
And listen, I will say this for a white guy, you have some sexy calves.
That's it.
Jody. I'm telling you.
If we ask Jody if he's stoned, he can say yes and be legally okay.
That's what he's talking about.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Yeah.
I hate you guys. I really do.
Shiny too, shiny.
I'm shiny.
Hey Billy, and they're nice and lotioned up too, man.
Yeah,
listen,
he put on
that boy is on point.
Well, no, I don't like to be ashy. So
you oil that up, right?
Cody's not a gray boy.
That's not
Hey,
right.
He's not a gray
Mark.
boy.
Mark, you
Okay,
can't
so
let him
listen.
get away with that.
This might come out the wrong way, but he said that like a black guy.
Yeah, he did.
I was gonna
He's
say,
not
you
a gray
guys-
boy.
You guys
I
cannot let him
told
get away
you
with
my
that.
nickname in high school and in college was Jodeci.
He's a butters guy.
Man, that is so.
He knows
That
about
is
the
so
butters.
true. Yeah, cocoa butter. Oh, absolutely. Mhm.
Oh man.
So let me ask you: Can you pick up the big rock if you've just cocoa buttered up?
Yeah.
Does it like
actually
slip
gives-
out of your?
No, it gives you some grip.
Bullshit.
I hate you guys.
He just went left. Oh, Jody, I love
Jody,
you.
it's okay. You're my hero, dude. Listen, I'll
You're
never
mine
be
too, because I don't know how
accepted
you're like 12,000 pounds as much as you eat all the time.
It's all protein, right? It's all,
All
some kind of
protein.
It
meat.
doesn't matter if all you ate was protein. You're going to get fat.
The thing is, Billy picks up 3 times as much as you, but he just doesn't post about it.
Obviously.
That's it. Nailed
Obviously. That is true.
it.
I'm
Oh,
gonna take
got
some
it.
sauce with me to San Fran next week.
Oh man.
Hey Billy, I think I'm gonna take a sauce with me to San Fran next week. I'm there for 2 weeks and it's so locked down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in my hotel. I got a full fridge and a burner, so I think I might need to take a sauce with me.
Absolutely.
Hey, by the way, I did get those sauces that you sent to me because I exchanged a couple for one for that bottle that I got you, which you
Sauces
arrived
for
today
bourbon.
and arrived safely.
Absolutely.
Sauces for bourbon. Hey,
No, it's not what the deal was.
I got the wing sauce.
But hey, real quick, at some point, you keep showing Smoke Wagon. I might need some more to there, tough guy.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, I got
Look
you,
at
buddy.
that.
Hey, this is for David.
Look at that.
I'm a little pissed because David's
Rub
got
on it.
dates
Rub
on
on
it.
it.
Look at Billy, you go, boy.
He's rubbing on it. Oh, we got.
We just went straight to HBO.
Woo.
Straight HBO.
It's HBO After Dark.
And they say I'm crazy.
You ought to have seen John's look over there. He was like, "Wow, it just really went bad real fast."
That's why we don't
I
have
thought I was being in screwed because I really wanted to learn something, and obviously it's just a bunch of jackassery.
we don't
Yeah, I
have
was like,
the
I'm
whiskey
glad
nieces. The
my
whiskey
daughter
niece is
wasn't
not
in the
here
room.
yet, so we're good.
I want to
Hey,
know.
John,
Okay.
John, just give us about a 20-second warning before the whiskey niece shows up. We can be
Yeah.
good.
The what now?
What is?
The whiskey niece.
Not
Oh.
niece, his daughter.
His
Yeah.
daughter.
Well, she's our whiskey niece, so you have to give us a little warning, so we'll be good when she comes.
She's already probably heard it. Her mama's got a.
So we're drinking Uncle Nearest, but the rest of us need to be Uncle Farthest.
Yes.
Wow. There's so many jokes there, but I'm choosing not to say any of them. So
Please
somebody
do.
was gonna ask a question. Was that you, Jay? Was gonna ask a question real quick?
We're all sipping.
I thought I was going to be able to get a Smoke Wagon Uncut tonight, and when I went to go get these 2 bottles, and I said, "Hey, is that a Smoke Wagon Uncut behind there?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Somebody got their name on it?" He said, "Yeah." I was like, "Is it Thomas?" I said, "I can't tell you." I was like, God.
No, it isn't Thomas.
Must
No,
be
there's
Jay.
a guy he's holding that for until close tonight, just so you know.
He said he's supposed to. I was like, "Is he picking it up tonight?" He said, "No, it'll be tomorrow."
Uh,
All right.
Well, I have this tonight.
Yeah.
do you need an uncut? Do you need a Smoke Wagon Uncut?
So I've never had it.
Oh,
We'll
if
fix
you want,
that.
let me know. I can get, of course I can
We'll
get
fix
it.
that.
Hey, John, for the 15,000th
beautiful.
time, I invited you over. We live relatively close, and I have a plethora of different assortments of adult beverages you could try. And I've seen your wife and your kid. You have somebody to drive you home, or you can sleep downstairs on the couch. It's up to you.
And that's
Jonathan,
impressive. I've never gotten that invite.
That's
John.
not true, Jay. I have invited you
John.
numerous times.
John, that is what
Jonathan,
you
I was
call
just-
an invite.
Hold on a second.
right
Time out.
there.
Billy, hold on a second. Hold on. I want to make sure we're clear on this. Anybody that's on this page is perfectly, I don't want to say perfectly because that's not that you guys aren't that. However, I do want to put out an invite to everyone that's on here, this show, right this second. You're always welcome at my house to have a drink with me.
I'm on my way.
You could move in, Mal. It'd be totally cool.
Dude, I wish.
Well, Jody, I appreciate the invite, and I'll have to take you up.
Oh,
on it.
yeah.
But here's my but. If it does smell like straight up cocoa butter in there, I'm out. It takes
I
me
can't
back,
promise that. I like cocoa butter.
takes me
I
back
use it
to
on
a
my head,
bad
too.
memory of my 20th birthday party. So
Oh, wow, you
we
went to
don't wanna know
the
that.
Dirty Rabbit then.
Let's save that story till the after show. Yeah.
Mark, I
John,
know what
just
it
take-
is. I have several.
I have butters too.
Yeah. I don't want to be ashy. I'm sorry.
Just really quick, Jonathan. Have you tried the 56 yet?
yeah, I actually just poured it. It's
I'm
really
glad you circled us around.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really good. I mean, the difference between 56 and 84 is completely different.
Yeah, it is. Big time.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Big
Which one's
time.
better?
Preference? What's your preference? Yeah.
Version,
You say the 56?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Jay,
much better.
you went to say something twice. What were you going to say?
I was just gonna ask John to tell us a little about his little man cave there. I've noticed on several shows he has Parlor 100 on his.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's a TV or a picture frame, a digital picture frame, or what. But tell us
It's
what's
his
going on
Instagram
back there.
page where he just takes pictures of him and his bottles. So there you go, Billy. Why don't you follow it?
So my wife and I, when we got married, we bought our first home, and one of the things that I didn't have was like space to like call my own, and I was like, all right, whenever we either build something or buy something else, I was like, I want my own space of some sort, and I saw the value in that, especially when Ellie was born. I was like, sometimes you almost need to go somewhere just to unwind a little bit and kind of take a break. But when we came to this place, this is actually supposed to be the formal dining room downstairs. It's right inside the front door, but it's a 10 by 10 room, so 100 square feet, which is kind of how I get the Parlor 100. But I'm also off of Highway 100, so there's kind of a connection there. But this was when we moved in. I was like, I need to create this room, and trying to think about what I wanted to make it, and we couldn't do anything else, so I just spent all my money on bourbon, and so Don's got a lot of my money, but it's been
Good.
fun putting all this together.
Nice.
Don's a great guy. He deserves it. He deserves your
Yeah,
money.
absolutely.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead.
Need to get yourself a barber chair there, John. Just sit back and relax. Your little Parlor 100.
Well,
I
see,
like
I was
it.
going to do that downstairs. I was going to have a room very similar to your own. I have a man cave, but I was going to do a room where I could just sit and have bourbon and have my guns and stuff hanging up on the wall. But they've recently been in a boating accident, so I don't have them anymore. So anyway, so now it's just going to be me in a chair in there and maybe some bourbon. But anyway, hey guys, this was a lot of fun. The ones that got that joke, I appreciate it. And Jay is still sitting over there like, I have no idea what he's talking about. But
I'm
anyway,
English and I got that joke.
yeah, thank you.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because that's where it started from. But anyway, hey, listen, this has all been fun. It always is. And I appreciate everybody that's watching it, and even the people that I didn't know were watching it that just found out that I was commissioner today. Awesome. So with all of that being said, you guys have a wonderful evening. Billy, would you say be good to yourself real quick for us?
Yes, gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out and joining us this evening. And as always, be good to yourself.
Yes.